Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Unsere Sendungen bieten viele Sprachen. Gehen Sie auf suprememastertv.com/schedule.
I wanted to spread the message of veganism and let people know the reality of animal agriculture and allow people to make up their own minds, because I didn't know any of the stuff before I was vegan.
A Journey to Veganism with Selene Nelson, Part 1 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Hello, kind viewers. Привет means hi in Ukrainian. My name is Natalia. The spiritually rich Ukrainians pray for your hearts to be touched by divine bliss. Welcome to part 1 of our 2-part series, A Journey to Veganism with Selene Nelson. Selene Nelson is an author, freelance journalist, and vegan activist. Her latest book, Yes, Vegan, is a well-written guide on how and why to go vegan. Selene studied English literature at the University of Sussex and has written for many publications, too many to mention, both online and in print. She has also been written about by popular publications for reasons such as veganism, to chat about cruelty-free products, and living sustainably. Featuring in Simply Vegan magazine and on the cover of The Telegraph magazine, Selene is making a buzz about veganism. Selene Nelson was a vegetarian up to 2017 when she made the transition to veganism. Let's find out what motivated Selene to make such a change.
What motivated me to become vegan was my love for animals, first and foremost. I was already vegetarian when I went vegan because I'd seen slaughterhouse footage and I thought I just don't want any part of that. But it's very easy to look away from the dairy industry and the egg industry. I did that very successfully for quite a few years. But it got to the point where I couldn't look away anymore, and I confronted the reality of these industries. And once you see the footage and you're aware of kind of how awful it is, I realised I would be just a real hypocrite if I decided dairy cows didn't matter in the same way I thought, beef cows did. So it was just a decision I felt compelled to make.
Selene credits the delicious and healthy plant-based meat and cheese substitutes for helping her get into veganism.
And I know for me it was seeing photos and videos of plant-based food on Twitter and Instagram that made me realize that maybe I could entertain the idea of moving down to a more plant-based way of living. And before, I'd always felt that I was too much of a foodie to go vegan. I could never give up cheese. I couldn't imagine a life without cheese. I didn't want to. And when I saw photos of big creamy bowls of pasta or decadent slices of cheesecake or juicy burgers, it made me realize that vegan food wasn't just lentils and kale and quinoa. It was way more varied than I ever gave it credit for. And that was the first step that made me begin to look into it with a more positive outlook.
Becoming a freelance journalist actually helped Selene reaffirm that veganism is the path to take. Selene shared with us what prompted her to make this brave decision to leave the security and benefits of a monthly salary and dive into the unknown life of a freelance writer.
What compelled me to quit my job was just wanting to have some autonomy over what I wrote. I was writing for a marketing company, so I was doing copywriting, and I wanted to write about things I really cared about. And it actually wasn't veganism at that point because I wasn't vegan. I wanted to travel and just experience life, and it was that travel experience that made me become vegan. And as soon as I did, I felt like I wanted to spread the message of veganism and let people know the reality of animal agriculture and allow people to make up their own minds, because I didn't know any of the stuff before I was vegan, and I think if I had that information I would have made the switch sooner. So I kind of felt it was my duty or my calling, as cheesy as that might sound, to actually use my journalism to spread that message.
Wondrous viewers, we'll be right back after this short message. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back, loving viewers. Selene decided to travel and write, and started globetrotting with a focus on the presence and growth of veganism. She traveled extensively, experiencing and writing about different vegan foods and cultures in various countries. She highlights the place which impressed her the most.
I think Indonesia was the country that surprised me most, because I was vegetarian at this point, and people were saying, oh, you're going to really struggle in certain countries. And we went to Bali, first of all, and I didn't realize, but it's like a vegan haven. And that was the place where I first discovered how good vegan food could be. I'd always thought I was too much of a foodie to go fully vegan, and I was eating like creamy cheesecakes that were fully vegan and lasagnas, and that made me realize, like, wow, if this is vegan food, then I should look into it more. So Bali was the place that surprised me and also started me on the journey, I think.
Selene Nelson had embarked on an exciting vegan journey around the world. On her website, you can read all about her adventures and mouth-watering dishes that she tasted and wrote about from so many places like New York, Fiji, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Thailand, Vancouver, Berlin, Lisbon, Peru, Cuba, Costa Rica, and many more. We were curious about how long Selene stays in one city to do the required research for each article that she writes.
Ideally as long as possible, but it depends obviously on my schedule. But usually, I mean, I like to spend a couple of months in a city. I did that in Vancouver last year, and that's good because you can try all the vegan places and the veggie places without rushing. Often I'm only there for a week, and then you have to kind of cram in like breakfast, lunch and dinner, which is always fun. But it's nice to take the time and spend, 6 weeks is usually a really good amount of time.
Selene writes about the three main reasons for veganism: health, the environment, and animal ethics. Having traveled so extensively around the world, she shared with us how the vegan movement was reflected in all the various countries and cultures, plus the reasons to motivate the success of veganism around the world.
I think definitely in the UK and the US there's been a strong interest in the health side of it, particularly recently. You have documentaries like The Game Changers on Netflix that are really popular, and getting people to understand that a vegan diet is not only healthy, it can actually be the best diet for you. And as well, I think with that, they've got a lot of athletes in there, and people realizing you don't have to have meat to be strong and be muscly. So definitely in the West, the health side's really been a big focus. I think also the environment as well, the current climate, discussion about the environment is very topical. You've got people like Greta Thunberg, promoting a vegan diet, and I think increasingly that is something that, again, in the West is things people are very interested in. I think the animal side is something people often want to steer away from because it's just not nice to look. But I did find in certain countries, particularly in parts of Asia, where people do seem to be a bit more spiritually connected, there is more of a focus and an interest in the spiritual side of it, which is so linked to animals, I think, in my experience.
What a keen observation about the link between spirituality and veganism. Regardless of why people have gravitated to a vegan lifestyle, the decision to become a vegan is always going to lead to spiritual elevation. Selene is so lucky to have traveled around the world, taste testing and writing about all the vegan cuisines. Selene shares her picks of favorite vegan-friendly cities.
The cities I would pick to stay in would probably be Los Angeles, because the vegan food there is just second to none. They have so many choices, and I went there before I was vegan, and I was vegetarian. I remember thinking, why is everything vegan here? But it's just really nice to have that be the norm in so many parts. I think it goes hand in hand with the kind of health and fitness and outdoors lifestyle there. So I do love the food there. Berlin is amazing as well, and I think one of the places that's really surprising, people were really shocked to hear that Berlin in Germany is one of the vegan capitals. But it's amazing to go and see all these vegan food markets and stores and try the vegan sausages. New York as well, it's really good. They've got so many variety of restaurants, like the junk food ones, amazing kind of fine dining food. So yeah, that's really good. And Barcelona actually is one that's, I think, really up and coming, and it's nice to have the tapas and actually realise you can do that on a plant-based diet.
To learn more about Selene Nelson, please visit selenenelson.co.uk. Intelligent viewers, it has been a pleasure to have your company for today's program. Please tune in again next week on Thursday, September 10th, 2020 for part 2 of A Journey to Veganism with Selene Nelson. Coming up next is Who Could Actually Be Redeemed? Part 9 of 11 on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May you find and enjoy some of the best loving vegan cuisine in your city and take part in enjoying the kindest way of life. Be vegan, make peace.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/VE.